Welcome to the Quotes World. In this video, you will watch the inspirational and motivational quotes of the 5 greatest leaders of the world. Pakistan does not lack talent, it lacks leadership. I want Pakistan to be a country where every citizen feels a sense of ownership. A nation that does not value its youth, does not deserve its future. Corruption is a cancer that eats away at the very fabric of society. I will transform Pakistan into a welfare state based on the principles of justice and compassion. The only way we can eradicate poverty is through education and skill development. I entered politics because I wanted to change the system, not become a part of it. A strong democracy requires an independent judiciary and a free media. We cannot move forward as a nation until we address the issue of inequality. We need to invest in human development, particularly in healthcare and education. I believe in empowering women, and giving them equal opportunities in every sphere of life. I want Pakistan to be a country where the rule of law prevails over the rule of individuals. We need to improve our governance systems to ensure transparency and accountability. I am a firm believer in democracy and the power of the people. Our biggest asset is our youth, and we must invest in their future. I want to create an environment in Pakistan where entrepreneurship thrives and job opportunities are abundant. We must prioritize environmental conservation and address the challenges of climate change. Pakistan's strength lies in its diversity, and we should celebrate and embrace it. I want to create a society where justice is not just a privilege of the powerful, but a right of every citizen. We must build strong institutions that can withstand the test of time and political transitions. We need to strengthen our education system, and ensure quality education for all. I want to create a culture of meritocracy where positions are earned based on talent and hard work. We must focus on harnessing the potential of our youth through sports and recreational activities. I want to create a society where women feel safe and can fulfill their dreams without fear or discrimination. Pakistan's future is bright, and together we can achieve greatness. I am committed to upholding the principles of honesty, integrity, and transparency in governance. Our foreign policy should be based on mutual respect and peaceful coexistence with all nations. I want Pakistan to be a country where every child has access to quality education and healthcare. We must invest in renewable energy sources to ensure a sustainable future. I believe in the power of diplomacy and dialogue to resolve conflicts. We need to eradicate the menace of terrorism from our soil and promote peace and stability. The key to progress lies in empowering the marginalized and providing them with equal opportunities. I want to create an environment where art and culture thrive and inspire our society. We must protect and promote the rights of minorities in Pakistan. I am committed to creating a corruption-free Pakistan. We must harness the potential of our agricultural sector to ensure food security for all. I want to create a society where justice is swift, and the law applies to everyone equally. The measure of a nation's greatness is how it treats its weakest members. I believe in the power of education to transform lives and societies. We must prioritize investment in healthcare to provide quality medical services to all. I want to build a strong and prosperous Pakistan that is a model for the entire Muslim world. We must bridge the gap between the rich and the poor and ensure social justice. I want to create a society where meritocracy prevails over nepotism and favoritism. Pakistan's destiny is in the hands of its people, and together we can achieve the impossible. I believe in the potential of our youth to bring about positive change. We need to promote entrepreneurship, and create an enabling environment for business growth. I am committed to empowering the provinces and ensuring devolution of power to the grassroots level. I want to promote religious tolerance and harmony among different faiths in Pakistan. Our focus should be on building a strong economy that benefits every citizen. I want Pakistan to be a country where justice is not delayed or denied. We must eradicate illiteracy and make education accessible to every child. I believe in a Pakistan where every citizen has equal rights and opportunities, regardless of their background. We need to invest in infrastructure development to drive economic growth and connectivity. I want to build a society where every individual feels a sense of belonging and dignity. We must protect and preserve our natural resources for future generations. I am committed to upholding the principles of democracy, human rights, and social justice. There is a world of difference between a leadership that is based on love and respect, and one that is based on fear. The race for excellence has no finish line. Failure is not falling to the ground, it is remaining there once you have fallen, and the greatest failure is when you decide not to stand up again. Our job is to provide an environment that unlocks women's potential, one that protects their dignity and femininity, helps them create the necessary balance in their lives, and values their talents and potential. Given this environment, I am confident that women will perform nothing short of miracles. An easy life does not make men, nor does it build nations. Challenges make men, and it is these men who build nations. Simplicity starts in the heart, away from negativity and pessimism. Dubai will never settle for anything less than first place. Today's Arab crisis is not one of money, men, morale, land or resources. The real crisis is rather one of leadership, management and perennial egotism. Whoever convinces himself that he is not worthy of first position has doomed himself to failure from the very beginning. I believe that positive energy and optimism help us to take up any challenge in life, and to succeed in even the most difficult tasks. I also believe that positive energy is contagious, we can transmit it to others. A true leader is one who creates a favorable environment to bring out the energy and ability of his team. A great leader creates more great leaders, and does not reduce the institution to a single person. To take risk and fail is not a failure. Real failure is to fear taking any risk. It is such a beautiful life, but many people spend it worrying, burdened and frowning. You can easily see the beauty of life in the laughter of a child, the tenderness of a mother, the smile of a friend or the love of a compassionate wife. Good leadership puts the interests of the community as a whole before those of any specific group. Credibility of leadership can only be established through action and not words. Change or you will be changed. Leaders who neglect the good of their people will be forsaken. Leadership is a service, not a gateway to privilege. Competition always makes you stronger and better. Competition is feared only by the weak. Although we live in a civilized society, the business world remains a jungle. Dubai was founded on trade, not oil. With each new day in Africa, a gazelle wakes up knowing he must outrun the fastest lion or perish. At the same time, a lion stirs and stretches, knowing he must outrun the fastest gazelle or starve. It is no different for the human race. Whether you consider yourself a gazelle or a lion, you simply have to run faster than others to survive. Everybody starts small. We all begin life as a single cell. Every business starts as one person with an idea. How fast you go, how far you get, is in your hands. The bigger your vision, the bigger your achievement will be. Will you stumble on the way? Perhaps, but we cannot let fear keep us small. We have to be brave to be big. The impossible cannot be where there is perseverance and faith. There is no impossible in life. Not every rider is a horseman, and not every horseman is a knight. Life was created simple, and it is important to live it as such. Simplicity is inherent, it leads to peace of mind and tranquility. We may not live for hundreds of years, but the products of our creativity can leave a legacy long after we are gone. Those who lead from the top of the pyramid end up leading only those on top. I have said it loud and clear, beware, men, lest women deprive you of all the leadership positions in the country. I might go easy on people who make mistakes, but never on people who make no effort. Opportunities are made, they do not just lie around waiting for someone to grab them. We can speak of war as vehemently as some others do, but because we believe otherwise as Muslims, we prefer to speak of peace. The future does not wait for hesitant people. The more we achieve, the more we realize how much more we can achieve. Life is an extraordinary gift some people appear not to appreciate. In every breath and scent, every touch and sight we are gifted by new experience and the chance to feel the richness of experience. Every sound we hear, from the song of a bird to the harshness of an angry voice, is a miracle. True excellence does not come from being superior to others, but means surpassing oneself time and again. Although failure is a great teacher, we cannot afford the time to learn from our failures. Human societies cannot be subjected to such a process. Good governance is about nothing more or less than creating happiness. It really is that simple. Helping those less fortunate than us is a blessed opportunity to show thanks for the gifts of life that we ourselves enjoy. Our vision is sharp, our goals are clear, our resources are huge, our will is strong and we stand tall, ready to face the challenges ahead. Creativity should be integral to everything that we do. Creativity should also be intrinsic to our personality, if excellence is what we seek. Every nation can harness the energy of its citizens, either towards constructive work to generate optimism and hope, or towards tensions, unrest and war. Our goal is to be among the best nations worldwide because the Emirati people will settle for nothing less than the best. History is not concerned with visions that are not implemented. Positivity is a way of thinking, and happiness is a lifestyle. In other words, it is not what you own or do that makes you happy, it is how you think about things. No one can rule with the power of fear for long. I am proud to be able to say, as a leader, I can offer this to my people. A leader's vision is not only an economical and developmental one, it is also a social and moral one in which development and values need to complement each other. Anyone who admires his leader greatly, and seeks his respect and trust, should be frank with him, tell him about his mistakes and faults, and advise him about the right way. The best examples of lies can be found there. To me, social media is the worst menace to society. I don't want to use the term nuclear weapons because those people in Iran who have authority say they are not building nuclear weapons. Because those people in Iran who have authority say they are not building nuclear weapons. I make an appeal to the countries who do have nuclear weapons. They don't consider them a nuclear threat. But let's say a country that doesn't have nuclear weapons gets involved in building them. Then they are told by those that already have nuclear weapons that they oppose such a development. Where is the justice in that? The whole world is an open, free market. No state can exist without the others. If the people allow something to happen, it's the right thing. My own daughters weren't able to study in Turkey because of their headscarves, so they went to the United States. Similarly, gender equality, supremacy of law, political participation, civil society, and transparency are among the indispensable elements that are the imperatives of democratization. I am saying yes to criticism, but no to insults. Even in the Western world, one cannot argue that the ideal has been achieved given the existence of issues like the integration, participation and representation of Muslim citizens, and occasional but lingering anti-Semitism. If we look at history, we will see that regimes which persecute their people do not remain standing. If during their education our youths become alienated from their language, history, ancestors, culture and civilization, it means there is a very serious educational problem there. We are against the majority tyrannizing the minority. But we are definitely against the minority tyrannizing the majority. We are seeing with great grief that America remains quiet as Turkey struggles against terrorism. Because there were promises given to us, and they need to be kept. If not, we can take care of our own business. There is no moderate or immoderate Islam. Islam is Islam, and that's it. This presidential system will not bear any resemblance to dictatorships under the same name in Africa and Asia. It will be unique to Turkey. It will be like a bee making honey, taking something from every flower and giving us a taste of a truly different honey. However, democracy cannot be defined as the existence of parliaments and elections alone. Similarly, it is argued that the culture of Islam is incompatible with democracy. Basically, this conventional perspective of the Middle East thus contends that democracy in that region is neither possible nor even desirable. According to this view, democracy is a product of Western culture, and it cannot be applied to the Middle East, which has a different cultural, religious, sociological and historical background. Several experts on the Middle East concur that the Middle East cannot be democratized. As a politician who cherishes religious conviction in his personal sphere, but regards politics as a domain belonging outside religion, I believe that this view is seriously flawed. They cry press freedom, but the raids have nothing to do with it. We have no concern about what the Europe might say, whether the Europe accepts us as members or not. We have no such concern. Please keep your wisdom to yourself. I am against nuclear weapons, regardless of whether they are in the hands of Iran or Israel or any Western country. But obviously some states are allowed to have weapons of mass destruction while others are not. The knife in the hand of a murderer kills, but if you give it to a doctor he will heal with it. Cave of the Patriarchs and Rachel's tomb were not and never will be Jewish sites, but Islamic sites. Forsake alcohol, eat grapes instead. You cannot put women and men on an equal footing. It is against nature. They were created differently. Their nature is different. She should not laugh loudly in front of all the world and should preserve her decency at all times. A confidence problem exists on the part of the people of the region who desire democratic rule in principle, but remains suspicious of both the fashion with which democratization is presented and the purposes of the democratic world. Turkey is the gateway to the East for Europe, and the gateway to Europe for the East. We have a bridging function that Europe shouldn't underestimate. Our religion has defined a position for women in society, motherhood. Some people can understand this, while others can't. You cannot explain this to feminists because they don't accept the concept of motherhood. Germany and Turkey are two countries that need each other. As political leaders, we will leave our offices one day, but our people will remain and have to get along with each other. So we should not give them negative messages. As political leaders, we will leave our offices one day, but our people will remain and have to get along with each other. So we should not give them negative messages. It is impossible to preserve my friendship with people who are allegedly leaders, when they are attacking their own people, shooting at them, using tanks and other forms of heavy weaponry. A woman who rejects motherhood, who refrains from being around the house, however successful her working life is deficient, is incomplete. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It always seems impossible until it's done. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. I am the captain of my soul. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. I hate race discrimination most intensely and in all its manifestations. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. Our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer, and thus emerge stronger. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. Courageous people do not fear forgiving, for the sake of peace. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony, and with equal opportunities. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them, the chains on all of my people were the chains on me. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. A fundamental concern for others in our individual and community lives will go a long way in making the world the better place we so passionately dreamt of. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. I was not a messiah, but an ordinary man who had become a leader because of extraordinary circumstances. When people are determined, they can overcome anything. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. I dream of the realization of the unity of Africa, whereby its leaders combine in their efforts to solve the problems of this continent. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. In the end, reconciliation is a spiritual process, which requires more than just a legal framework. It has to happen in the hearts and minds of people. Poverty is not an accident. Like slavery and apartheid, it is man-made and can be removed by the actions of human beings. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference. If you want the cooperation of humans around you, you must make them feel they are important, and you do that by being genuine and humble. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer, and thus emerge stronger. A leader must be a visionary and have the courage to act on his vision. It is not enough to be wise, one must also be patient. Leadership is about taking responsibility and making tough decisions. Progress comes to those who work hard and never give up. Education is the key to unlocking the potential of a nation. Success is not a destination, it is a journey. A nation's wealth is measured by the well-being of its people. Innovation is the engine of economic growth. Corruption is cancer that destroys societies. Unity is strength, division is weakness. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Never underestimate the power of determination. Good governance requires transparency and accountability. The measure of a man is how he treats those less fortunate. Technology is a tool for progress, but it must be used responsibly. A nation's greatness is not measured by its military strength, but by the well-being of its citizens. Leadership is about inspiring others to reach their full potential. Justice must be blind and impartial. The rule of law is the foundation of a just society. Diversity is a strength, not a weakness. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. Success is not guaranteed, it must be earned. In a rapidly changing world, adaptability is key. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Poverty is not destiny, it is a challenge that can be overcome. Hard work is the key to success. Leadership is about making tough decisions, even when they are unpopular. The pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey. Innovation is the lifeblood of progress. A nation's progress is measured by the well-being of its people, not just its GDP. A strong education system is the foundation for a prosperous nation. Leadership is about serving the people, not personal gain. Equality is a fundamental human right. Integrity is the cornerstone of leadership. The future belongs to those who are willing to work for it. A nation's strength lies in the character of its people. Leadership is about inspiring others to reach heights they never thought possible. Education is the passport to a better future. Success is not just about personal achievements, it is about making a positive impact on society. Innovation is the bridge to a better tomorrow. A nation's progress depends on the empowerment of its women. Leadership is about making tough decisions for the greater good. The path to success is paved with hard work and perseverance. Education is the foundation upon which a nation's future is built. In a world filled with challenges, resilience is key. Progress requires bold ideas, and the courage to implement them. Leadership is about leading by example. Unity is the bedrock of a strong and prosperous nation. Success is not about personal glory, but about making a positive difference in the lives of others. Innovation is the catalyst for transformation. In the face of adversity, true leaders rise to the occasion and inspire hope. The strength of a nation lies in the unity of its people, regardless of their differences. Education is the cornerstone of progress, and it must be accessible to all. Leadership is not about holding on to power, it is about empowering others to lead. Change is inevitable, but it is our response to change that defines our future. A prosperous nation is one that invests in the well-being and development of its youth. The pursuit of justice should never be compromised, even in the face of resistance. Innovation is the bridge between challenges and solutions, it is the key to overcoming obstacles. Leadership requires humility, empathy, and the willingness to listen to diverse perspectives. A nation's true wealth lies in the well-being of its people, the preservation of its environment, and the sustainability of its resources. Leadership is not about seeking personal glory, it is about serving the greater good. Education is the foundation that empowers individuals to shape their own destiny. A nation's success is not determined by its size but by the resilience and resourcefulness of its people. True progress is measured by the upliftment of the most vulnerable members of society. Leadership requires courage to challenge the status quo and strive for meaningful change. Innovation is the key to unlocking new possibilities and driving sustainable development. Unity does not mean conformity, it means celebrating diversity and finding common ground. The strength of a nation lies in its ability to adapt and embrace technological advancements. Leadership is about fostering collaboration and nurturing the talents of every individual. Education is not just about acquiring knowledge, it is about cultivating critical thinking and fostering creativity. A prosperous nation is one that values and invests in the well-being of its senior citizens. Progress is not a linear path, it requires resilience and the willingness to learn from failures. Leadership is about instilling a sense of purpose and inspiring others to become agents of positive change. Innovation is not limited to technology, it is about finding innovative solutions to social and environmental challenges. A nation's true strength lies in its ability to provide equal opportunities for all its citizens, regardless of their background. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.